Hi guys, welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, hello. My name is Brianna and today we are just gonna do some book updates, basically just bookish updates. I was gonna say maybe life updates, but I feel like I don't have any life updates. Do I have any life updates that aren't book related either? I don't think so. I only have book related updates. I thought we could do just a reading update, what I've been reading, because I didn't film a reading vlog for this past week. I was just taking some time off of filming after I've been filming quite a bit, and it was my birthday a few weeks ago, so I was like, I just want a chill week where I don't have to film myself reacting to books in the time that I'm reading them, but I still wanted to give you guys my thoughts and review on them, since I don't think I'm gonna do an in-depth reading wrap up this month, just because I think I've filmed a reading vlog for every single week this month. So you guys have basically seen every single book I have read this month from a reading vlog, so I just thought I'd give you an update on the other books that I read this past week that I didn't have in a reading vlog. And then I also have some very, very cool stuff to show you guys that I got for my birthday that is bookish related. And then I also want to tackle reorganizing my TBR shelves a little bit. I don't know if I'll reorganize this shelf and this shelf. I feel like they're pretty good and we kind of cleaned them out last month when I did a bookish things video. So I think these two shelves are good, but my rotating bookshelf that is off camera and then this green shelf behind me definitely need a little reorganization, especially the rotating one. I know you guys can't see it right now, but that is also a TBR shelf, the green one behind me, and I just feel like it's gotten a bit clustered. I am trying to do it by publisher and genre, but I've kind of just been throwing things where they fit lately, so it's not the greatest. So I just wanted to tackle some book things today, which is book updates, showing you some cool book stuff I got, and then book reorganization. So maybe let's start with the reading updates. I think I only finished 2 books off camera this week. It was kind of a slow reading week for some reason. I can't even tell you why. But then I also have 2 other books that I did not finish this week that I'm halfway through. So the favorites, I am actually listening to the audiobook of this one. I finished it in January, and I was talking to my husband about it last night because he was like, where does this rank in your top books? And I think it's number 2. I think I have to go with the ACOTAR series being number 1 and then this one being number 2. So that just shows you how much I love it. So immediately after I finished reading it physically, I started the audiobook, and I have been getting a good way through the audiobook this week just because I am obsessed, and I feel like I wanted to listen to the audiobook more than read physical books this week. And then I'm also reading an arc. I don't remember what it's called. There Are No Words, something along those lines. I'll insert a picture, but this is an arc I got, and it's supposed to be an accidental pregnancy trope book, and I love those books when they're done well. But this one, not that the trope part of it is done unwell, but the writing, I have thought about DNFing this one so many times so far, and I'm only 30% through it, just because I feel the writing is so cringy. It's the author is trying to purposefully write so it's not cringy. I don't know, it feels very millennial humor writing to me. So I'm really disliking the writing, but overall the story is okay. I don't know. I shouldn't say probably. I might give you a final reading update in a few weeks when I finish it, but as of right now, not loving just the overall writing of it. But the favorites, loving that, loving listening to the audiobook. It is so good. And now let's talk about the 2 books that I did finish. So the first one I finished is Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister, and this one I think actually comes out later this month, but I got it early through Book of the Month. This is not sponsored, by the way, by Book of the Month. I just love Book of the Month. I wish they would sponsor me because I love them so much and I get a book from them every single month. But this was my pick for February. It is a mystery thriller, but it also has some romance to it. the love story is very, very important to the mystery and thriller aspect to it. Basically, it follows Camilla as one of the main characters, and she wakes up one morning, her husband is already gone, which is kind of weird, and he left a note. It says, if anything, ... and then on the other side, it's basically like, it's been so lovely with the both of you because Camilla had given birth to their daughter 9 months ago. Camilla's actually going back to work for the first day since giving birth. So they have this really sweet family, husband, wife, baby. And she's like, this note is really weird and I like can't get a hold of him or anything. Like try texting him, try calling him. Nothing. She's like, whatever, I gotta get to work. Like I'm sure he's just busy with something. He is also a ghostwriter, author, so she's like, he's probably just busy and like trying to focus on work, turned his phone off. It's fine, I'll get a hold of him, I'm sure, at some point. So she goes to work, and when she's at work, they turn on the TV, and it's like, there's this hostage situation. Man is holding 3 people hostage in this like warehouse, and the man holding these people hostage turns out to be Camilla's husband. And she's like, no way, my husband is a good man, like he's a good husband, he's just a good guy. He would never do that. So then she's like, okay, is he being forced to do this? Is he being like blackmailed into doing this? Because there is just no way, right? So then we also follow the perspective of this hostage negotiator. I guess this is like a real life job. Like you can go to school to be a hostage negotiator. Never knew that before reading this book. I was learning something new. And he is trying to negotiate with Camilla's husband to let these hostages go. So very, very high stakes situation. And then you basically just like read both Camilla and then this hostage negotiator's POV throughout the whole hostage situation, the aftermath of it, trying to find out why the husband was holding these people hostage, because again, like this is not like him whatsoever. Very, very interesting. I felt like I was watching a drama series on it, like a Netflix drama series. This feels like something that they would release. It was very, very interesting. And just like his note that he left to Camilla. Yeah, you as the reader are basically finding out what got the husband in that spot that morning. Very, very interesting. I gave it a 4-star rating. I loved the beginning, but the middle was kind of slow and I did not care about the hostage negotiator's POV a lot of the time and like his own personal issues. I was like, I only care about Camilla and her husband and finding out why he did that. And then the ending, like, I will say some of the plot twists were a bit predictable, but I feel like there's so many twists and some of the other ones were not that predictable, so I ended up really liking it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this one up when it comes out. And then the other book that I finished this week is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and this is like a sci-fi mystery thriller. Honestly, I was like so confused throughout the whole thing, but not like a bad confused. I was just like, what is going on? And then there's a lot of sci-fi stuff, like a lot of multiverse theory stuff. But like in this book, the multiverse isn't a theory, like it actually is happening to our main character that we're following. And they were saying so many sciencey terms and I was like, I don't know what I just read. Like I cannot comprehend it. Like that's how I was confused, but it was definitely like twisty, like messed with my head, messed with my perception, and I'm just like, whoa. It really makes you think, because I am one who kind of believes in the multiverse, like Loki, the TV show by Marvel, like that is what this book felt like, where the main character basically gets like taken out of his timeline and swapped, so now he's trying to go back to his timeline. But while trying to do that, he is going to all these other timelines that are not his world, and like some of them are good, some of them are very, very, very bad, and it's just like a lot of what ifs. Like this could have been your life if you didn't make this decision 15 years ago, but then this is your life because you made this decision. So I thought it was very thought-provoking. It was honestly kind of a quick read just because I really wanted to find out what was going to happen. Like, was he going to make it back to his world? What happens when he does get back to that world? Like, but yeah, it just kind of made me think. And I was like, I wonder how my life is going right now in all the other timelines out there, because I don't know. It's just a very, very weird thing to think about. And then literally, like, as I was reading this, I think it probably took me like 2 or 3 days to read. So in the middle of reading it, my brother-in-law was actually talking. He was like, yeah, I had this dream, and like in this dream, my friends were there, but like things were different. Like it felt like real life, but it wasn't quite right. And I was like, that literally sounds like you were dreaming, but like in your dream you were actually seeing yourself in another timeline or universe. Like, I again really, really liked this one. I gave it, I think, another 4-star rating. It was a little bit slower at times, and then some of the chapters are so long. Like, we're talking 50 pages, and I love when a chapter is a good like 10 to 15 pages so that I can take breaks, because I hate stopping in the middle of a chapter. And you know, sometimes I just can't read 50 pages in one sitting, so that kind of turned me off a little bit. And then also the ending, I feel like it was a little too easy. I don't know, I don't want to say too much and give anything away, because I would definitely recommend you reading this one for yourself. Yeah, it just says Dark Matter is a mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. That is very, very true. And like, this book definitely makes me want to read other books by Blake Crouch if they're kind of like the same, almost psychological thriller, because they really, really make you think, and they are very mind twisty. So I would definitely be interested, but the sci-fi part, I'm just like a little bit confused about sometimes. I am not a science girly. So I definitely read some good books off camera this week. The Favorite's going so well. I think I'm about 50% through the audiobook now, and then like I said, for that other arc I'm reading, I am about 30% through it, so hopefully finish those soon. And I think now I will show you some of the things I got for my birthday. Okay, starting off with what my husband got me for my birthday that is like bookish related. Well, he did take me to Barnes & Noble. He bought me a few books, and that is in my book shopping vlog, the most recent one that I posted. I go book shopping and then I give you a haul of the books that I got. So he did buy me those books for my birthday, and then he also got me a piece of bookish merch. It is from the ACOTAR series. It's actually in the laundry right now, so I can't show you it, but it says, "You are my salvation." If you've read A Court of Mist and Fury, you know what that quote is from. It's very, very cute. I'll insert a picture here. And then for the star of the show, for what my husband got me for my birthday that is like bookish related, he got me the rainbow edition of the Acrylopix ACOTAR series. So I am just gonna go ahead and show you all of these up close, because I am obsessed with them. I would have never expected to get these in a million years, because they are pricey. They're definitely a little pricey, and just like knowing my husband, not that he doesn't spoil me, but like I didn't expect him to spoil me this much for my birthday. So I am so grateful for them. I just said how the A Court of Thorns and Roses series is probably like my #1 book of all time, even though there's multiple books, but I feel like you just have to clump it all into one spot for the favorite. So when I got these, I was so excited. So here is A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then you have the dust jacket art, which is just gorgeous. I will also have pictures of these posted on my Instagram if you want to go check that out to like just see pictures in better detail, I guess. And then the first book, he got me the version of the set, because you can buy different ones, but he got me the one with page overlays. So, ooh, here's a good one. So every chapter has some artwork that goes over the page, that just like corresponds with something that happens in the chapter. So they are all stunning. Here it is like out of the book, just so you can see it. And then obviously like the dust jacket shows a scene from the book as well, or not like a specific scene, but just some important things from the book. And then the painted edges that obviously make a picture when you put all of the edges together. Stunning. Like, the biggest reason I need to reorganize this green shelf behind me is because I have these displayed on the top shelf of that, and this shelf just used to be like my TBR shelf. I definitely want to get it just to like a special edition shelf at some point, but as of right now I just have too many books on my physical TBR for that. So it's gonna be ACOTAR special edition and physical TBR for a little while. But then we have A Court of Mist and Fury, and oh, I don't think I showed you, but also like the top and the bottom has a design as well that all lines up on each book. But Court of Mist and Fury, I love this one. This is my favorite book of the series for obvious reasons. And oh, Feyre like painting each of these covers on the dust jacket, I just love that. And then here's the spine for that one. A Court of Wings and Ruin, once again we have the top and bottom. Just here's the spine, and then the back, and then the edges. A Court of Frost and Starlight. This one's dust cover, this one might be my favorite just because it's so cute with Rhys and Feyre on it. And then the back we have Valaris. I mean, obviously like the whole spine, or not spine, but like the painted edges of these are Valaris, but I just love this dust jacket so much. And then lastly, for A Court of Silver Flames, I think it's very cute, or I don't know if cute's the right word, but I really like how the foiling for all the other books is gold, but then for Silver Flames it's silver, which like makes sense. But this one has Nesta and Cassian on the front, and then the Valkyrie on the back, and then obviously we got all the painted edges again. So this is what they all look like together for the painted edges. I'll show you the bottom and then the top as well. But seriously, so stunning. And then I'll show you the spines, because the spines, they don't like line up to make a picture, but I do think they're really cute. Like Silver Flames has the flame on it. You have wings, you have, what else do we have here? We have a rose, we have a moon, we have a star. So obviously like all of those things go with the book. But I am just so obsessed, you guys. I could stare at these all day long. They're such nice high quality, which like they should be for the price that they are, but they're also handmade, so it's like you're definitely paying for the quality. I will warn you though, like if you are planning on getting it for a gift, because this is an issue that my husband actually ran into, is they ship in batches. They don't like ship as you know, place the order. So I don't know when he placed the order. I think either late December or early January, and when he ordered, I guess it said like the batch will ship at the end of January. So he was like, okay, hopefully it's like the beginning of the last week of January or something, because my birthday is February 4th, so very, very early in February. So I think it was like January 28th or 29th, and I guess he had emailed the company to ask them if they knew when they were going to ship by, just because like my birthday was coming up. He still didn't get any shipping notification for it, so they still just responded by like by the end of the month, and he was like, okay, but the end of the month is in like 3 or 4 days at that point. So then they said that he could do expedited shipping, but it'd be an extra $80, and that still like wasn't even guaranteed to get here by my birthday. So he was like, I'll just skip on that, and I will just like tell her what her gift is if it's not here on time. But then on January 31st, he got the shipping notification. It was like, shipping label has been made. And he's like, oh my gosh. That was also like a Friday, I think. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was my birthday. So he had 4 days for it to get there before my birthday, and the shipping label had just been made. But thankfully, we live in Minnesota and they were shipping from Michigan, so not like too far, and they got here on Monday. So obviously he told me all of this like after my birthday, after I opened them, because they got here on time. But I guess on Saturday or maybe Sunday, he checked the shipping and it said an estimated delivery by like 10 p.m. on my birthday. So he was like, well, at least it would be there on her birthday. But it actually ended up coming a whole day early, and he was like, Honestly, I'm just so glad I didn't spend the extra $80 on the expedited shipping since they got here in time anyways. So I will just warn you of that. Like, if they say it ships by the end of the month, they probably mean the last day of the month. So if you want to try and plan ahead, if you want to gift any of their books, definitely check that. I just thought it was funny, but it all worked out. And even if they wouldn't have gotten here in time, I would not have cared. So I am going to put these back up on my shelf and then show you some other stuff that I got for my birthday. So my mom ended up getting me 3 pieces of bookish merch. They're all from the Common Room shop, I think. This first one says, I drive down different roads, but they all lead back to you. And then it is ACOTAR. And this is like a mix of Taylor Swift lyrics, obviously, and books. I love Taylor Swift and books. Taylor Swift books and cats are like my whole personality, so if there's bookish merch mixed with Taylor Swift, yeah, I'm gonna love it. Another one mixed with Taylor Swift is this Dear Reader one, and then it says, get out your map, pick somewhere, and just run, which again, Taylor Swift lyric, and then the cutest little design of these teddy bears reading, like, are you joking? And then the last one that she got me is this Happy Place tee. It just says Happy Place, Emily Henry, and then has a bow on it. Happy Place is my favorite Emily Henry book, so I just love this one so much. And it's purple. I don't have like any purple t-shirts, so we're doing good there now. So I got a lot of amazing books for my birthday as well as bookish merch, and I'm just so grateful. Obviously my mom and my husband know me very, very well. And now let's reorganize my TBR bookshelves. Okay, so I thought I will just give you like a little bit of an overview of this green shelf right now. So obviously, like I said, I have my new ACOTAR set displayed up here on the top shelf, and then this is my other Sarah J. Maas shelf, so we just kind of come over here. And again, my dream one day is to have this whole shelf being special edition books, maybe even just Sarah J. Maas special edition books because I love them so much, but as of right now, it is also acting as my TBR. So the way I had it organized before was this top shelf was my immediate TBR. So like, let's just say it was my February TBR. So I now had to move that down here and like up here. And then I had to put my special edition Bridgertons on their sides, which I don't really want to do because they're very, very pretty, and I would like to display them. They're also special edition, so like it would make sense to have special edition and then more special edition like how this was, and then more just TBR, and had to move like my TBR jar down here, and then more TBR, and then down here I have my record player and then Baby Yoda stuff because I love Baby Yoda, he's so cute. But that record player actually broke. I don't know what happened to it. I think when we moved, something must have happened to it because I tried to play a new record on it and she's done. So I will probably just like put the record player away, like store it somewhere since it's broken anyways, so that I can use that bottom shelf as storage for books. So I'm just gonna start reorganizing a little bit. Okay guys, I think we are done. So here's a little overview of the green bookshelf. I didn't do the rotating bookshelf yet, so obviously I'll still show you that when I'm done, but we just have ACOTAR on the top shelf, and then Bridgerton. So this is how I had them before. And I tried to do them like having the sprayed edges showing, but I didn't like the way it looked. I feel like this just looks better. And then when we have like ACOTAR and Bridgerton there, I just think they look good together like that. Not with the sprayed edges. Maybe like this was throwing me off because these are sprayed edges, and then like these sprayed edges are just so loud and like neon. I was like, I don't really know if it's fitting the vibe, but I like how it looks now. And then here we now have my immediate TBR. So I think I counted and there's 10 books left on my February TBR, which I don't know if I'll get through all of them. And then I just have my mini books and then my TBR jar here. And then we kind of just shifted everything down, but I did try to organize it a little bit better because it was just kind of like everything thrown in here before. So all of this TBR is fantasy. So we just have some fantasy books up here, lots of series and such that I want to get through. And then down here, these are all like ARCs or just copies that have been sent to me by authors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ARCs or like indie author books that have been sent to me that I want to get to. And then these were just like leftover ones that didn't fit on this shelf up here for fantasy. So I want these to fit up there. So like this whole shelf can just be ARCs and whatnot, but I think it looks pretty good now. So here's just a little overview about how these 3 shelves now look. I definitely like that the bottom shelf down there isn't just like cluttered like my Baby Yoda stuff. Definitely like how it's just all books now, so I think it turned out really good. And now I am going to tackle the rotating bookshelf because again, I feel like books are just kind of thrown in here willy-nilly now, especially on the bottom. Like these 2 shelves right here, like these 2 middle shelves are definitely the most cluttered, I feel like. So let's tackle this bad boy. Alrighty, so I just went ahead and emptied the rotating TBR shelf, and I have it all like organized in piles, well, trying to organize. So I have a lot of various piles happening on the floor right now, kind of by genre, kind of by publisher. So like there obviously is all, I shouldn't say obviously, that is YA fantasy. Over here we have like adult fantasy and thriller and mystery, some classics. Now this is all like romance and general fiction, and I tried to do it by publisher. So I have a lot of Berkeley right here in this one. So I'm gonna try and do it in the same way where I had like romance up top and then I had fantasy more so on the bottom, just because like I have a lot of hardcover fantasies. So I thought it would make more sense to have like heavier books on the bottom, but I might try and do like YA romance into just adult romance and then down into like more general fiction and then probably YA fantasy down into fantasy and thriller. I don't know, that's kind of what my mind is thinking right now, but obviously I'll show you the final product. Okay, you guys, I am done reorganizing the rotating bookshelf. I did this one off camera because I actually filmed a TikTok for it, just like reorganizing it. I don't know. I always love bookshelf reorganization TikToks. Like they are so satisfying to me. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. So make sure to go head over to my TikTok and follow me on there because I post on there multiple times a day, everything book related. But yeah, here it is. I mean, honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I feel like it's definitely more organized than it was because again, like I had it organized when I first got this shelf and obviously initially put my books on it to organize, but then as I kept getting more books, I just kind of like shoved them where they fit and wasn't organizing it along the way. So I had like fantasy books mixed with romance books, mixed with thriller books, just like not great organization. So I feel like it's a lot better now. Honestly, I feel like it looks really pretty. Like this right here, this is just giving me like pretty vibes for whatever reason. I just think it looks aesthetically pleasing. But I will give you a like close-up detail of this bookshelf because we got 5 tiers here, 5 shelf, a 5 shelf bookshelf essentially right here. Okay, so starting on this top shelf here, I have just a few YA romances. So I have those up here, and then we kind of go into other romances. These are just kind of miscellaneous publishers, but you'll see that I do try and organize by publisher later. Like right here, we have same publisher. These are all Penguin Random House, Atria, and then we have another Atria over here, but right here I have Forever Publishing. So we have Abby Jimenez. And then we start Bloom books. I do have a good amount of Bloom books, so we continue Bloom right down here with Anna Huang, and then one by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And then the rest of this shelf is taken up by Berkeley books. I have a ton of Berkeley romance books because I am a Berkeley romance brand rep, or I don't know, like influencer, I guess. So I have a ton of Berkeley. I also just love Berkeley books. So these are all adult, other than the 2 YA romances I showed you at the beginning. And then coming down, we have just more like general fiction going on. These ones are not like very much organized by publisher, but I thought that was okay, just because I don't have a ton of just general fiction books. So, and then we come from general fiction. I have a few classics, so I just kind of threw them in where they fit. And then we go into YA fantasy. So again, did not really organize the YA fantasy by publisher either, but wait, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this one's YA fantasy. I was like, I have a YA thriller. I don't know if that's the thriller or the fantasy, but it is the fantasy, it looks like. Then coming down, we continue YA fantasy, and then we get into the adult fantasy, or like romantasy. Like Filthy Rich Fae, I'm pretty sure is categorized as a romance, but since there is fae in it, I put it with fantasy. And then just one more adult fantasy here, and then this is where we start with thriller, or like mystery. So these two right here are YA thrillers. And then wait, this one is actually like a thriller fantasy, I think, as well, or like horror fantasy. But then we start onto adult thrillers. Oh, and then we just need to go down. So down here, more adult thrillers or mysteries, and then one more adult thriller mystery. And then I have Magnolia Parks. This is just where they fit. And then I have a whole like extra slot right here, and then obviously I have some room here, and then just some other room throughout, so that when I get more books, I can just like reorganize it accordingly and just like, I don't know, fit the books in there well, now that I have a little bit of extra space down at the bottom. So again, I am very, very happy with both how this TBR shelf and then the green one also turned out, especially with how cute ACOTAR looks up here. Like, I am just obsessed. But this is probably where I'm going to end this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it doesn't really seem like there's a rhyme or reason to any of this. I just wanted to give you some updates. I wanted to reorganize a little bit. So you got some reading updates. You got to see my new merch and my new books. You got to see me reorganize. So just kind of taking care of like a bookish to-do list. I also wanted to prep for an upcoming video I want to do, hopefully in March, where I have my cats choose the books that I read for a week. And I was gonna prep for it because I have a blind cat, so for her choosing a book, I was probably gonna like print off my physical TBR, like type it all out and then print it off, and then she will have to choose it. But I feel like I might just have them choose from my March TBR. So stay tuned for my March TBR video. I think I'm gonna do TBR Jar chooses my March reads, and then stay tuned for my cats choosing my reads for a week. I'm very, very excited. I don't know, I haven't figured out entirely how I'm gonna do that video yet, but I did want to take care of that today and I just didn't get to it, but that's fine. Oh, speaking of cats. Hello, Spice. Hi. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, doing some bookish things, me telling you some bookish things, showing you some bookish things. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. Please comment any videos you would like to see from me in the future, and I will see you next time. Bye.